Man, it has been a while, but I am back. Had to resolve some technical issues regarding the mic. Hard to make these informative, hopefully even educational videos without such equipment. Keep in mind that I'm on some bare budget stuff here. But anyways, even though this is probably going to be the first video that you guys see, this is technically going to be part 2 of the Lawbringer guide that I am doing. This one will be pretty much a freestyle of different modes that I play as Lawbringer, and unlike the other videos that you guys have seen on my stream, I'll try to go in detail as to why I do what I do as Lawbringer for the educational purpose of educating you guys. Also, keep in mind that this is all pretty much one take, so there will be mistakes, there will be goof ups and slips, and there probably will be internet issues with the servers and stuff like that. But overall, hopefully I cover everything, because there's pretty much no way I could edit the video to add in anything that I have. So going off of what I will talk about, and the first part where I go into the pretty much, I'm going to have a friend with me and we're going to go over pretty much everything that there is to know. Pretty much, I'll pretty much be going over all that stuff there. I'm trying to think of a reminder. Some key reminders are, in any mode that you play Lawbringer in, get used to doing your shove always after a block. After you sidestep, always shove. A few of you guys have been showing support, and so I appreciate that. I want to take the time to thank you guys. I'm just doing this because I love the game, and I'm able to stream again using my Xbox. So we'll start something easy. We'll do duels because it's easier to understand how to win or why you lost in duels as a Lawbringer. All right. So, yes. Quick shout out to on a video to my best friend Damas. One of Final Rounds as well. We're a team called Final Round, and I released a video where me and him did a 1st to 99 duel. He plays and mains Orochi, and so if you are an Orochi or you are a Lawbringer trying to learn how to play as Lawbringer or even play as Orochi, or what to do against Orochi, then that's definitely an educational video. Warning, it's about 2.5 hours long. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but I do develop a new strategy that I implement today, and it's good to see the dance that people do pretty much within these fights. So it'll be a good time. All right. So I'm trying to go into detail for every single fight that I have here. I'm gonna try to do sets, which means best of 3s against these people, so we can get enough information. The Berserker, Assassin, which means they like sidestep attacks. So my goal against a Berserker is to bait sidestep attacks and parry. He could also be a Berserker who likes to not spam, but utilize his infinite loop of attacks. So my goal is to block and shove to stop it, but if I can't, then I have to sidestep myself. They also have an uninterruptible heavy attack from the top, so I have to look out from that. We're getting an internet issue, so already off to a bad start. I did warn you guys, though. I did warn you guys. All right. There's that uninterruptible top attack. So I always keep my opponent in check by guard breaking them. Be nice if they got hit by them, but if they don't, that's fine. I gotta let them know. Oh, wow. Whew. I tried sidestepping to the left, but I couldn't. That wall was in my way. This guy. There's like all kinds of crazy, like he's teleporting on me. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's even saying that it's lagging the stream too. Let's see. Is it me, maybe? Oh God, I hope not.
Round 2.
Okay. Let me stop using YouTube on my other TV and see if that helps. Alright, so we have a Berserker who likes to play to his form of honor, so I oblige him. Alright. It's good to parry when you can. Oh, he's teleporting again. Yeah, this net's not so hot. I'm not sure if there's a way to test to see if I'm on or not, but whew. Okay.
Round 3.
Alright, so this dude likes to attack, but if I can parry, then I'm good to go. He's teleporting way too much. We'll see if this is a constant thing. How you play Lawbringer is you want to keep your opponent gassed with shoves if you can, but unfortunately I'm low on stem and I didn't make the best use of it. He got me with the sidestep. I'd love to blame lag, but I can't. I mean, lag is present, but I'm not losing these because of lag. Maybe lose like a couple HP, but no. At this point, I'm getting outplayed because I'm not blocking his second attack. I'm thinking I can sidestep after I get hit by the first one, but it seems like you can't sidestep. You can only block after getting hit with the second one. So that's good on Berserkers. Alright. Yeah. I'm failing miserably at blocking. Pretty much when Berserkers go into that stance, you want to sidestep. Whew. That was pretty rough. So, why you lose? It's important as a Lawbringer, very important as a Lawbringer, to understand the strengths and weaknesses that you have and the strengths and weaknesses that your opponent has, so that when you lose, you know exactly how you lost, and it'll help you improve pretty much. All right, new engraving. Dope. I've been slacking on playing too, by the way. Like, I haven't been playing for orders. Once you get to a certain prestige level, going for orders isn't the most efficient if the orders don't involve you playing a mode that you want to do. Right now, I'm getting about 17, I'll just say 1,500. That's very low ball, though, but I'm getting about 1,500 experience by doing Dominion, and I get about 600 experience doing Skirmish, for example. Or not Skirmish. I believe it's Elimination. I get less. I like Elimination, so I don't mind doing it. But Skirmish, you have to do Skirmish twice for the 1,500, so it's essentially like getting around a 700, 650 EXP boost on something that probably actually, you know what? I believe Skirmish does reward you about 600, 700 experience. So pretty much what I'm saying is I'd rather just do a Dominion match and say screw the orders. But also I've been playing a lot of GTA. I recently got the Xbox One, so I'm trying to catch up in GTA. So I've been doing a lot of grunt work there. So I've been slacking on playing consistently in For Honor. But just experience-wise, I try to keep myself fresh when it comes to fighting other opponents. But there's no excuses here. So anyways, going back, I lost the Berserker because when he was doing his infinite cycle, I got caught up in trying to block when the smart play was probably to sidestep. I mean, the smarter play is to react better and block, but obviously that was the original goal and it failed. The right play is pretty much the sidestep shove. It cancels that out, and you take, at the very least, 1 hit less damage. But probably 2. You'll probably average about 2, saving yourself about 2 hits of damage, and creating an offensive edge if you just sidestep shove. So against Berserkers, sidestep shove when they go crazy like that. Got a text message. Okay. So Valkyrie, this is one of my personal toughest matchups, but I leveled up a little bit a few days ago on how to deal with them. So Valkyries, they pretty much have a 1-2 sweep combo. If you get hit by the second hit of their 1-2 sweep combo, the second hit confirms into the third hit, and the third hit confirms into a top heavy attack. So I got to be careful when they start attacking me 1-2. I want to sidestep. There's a sweep, and it confirms into that. So yeah, again, I tried blocking when again I should have sidestepped. I prefer to block because I want to work on blocking better. But I'm trying to sidestep that. It's just for some reason I can't sidestep. I can't even parry or guard break a Valkyrie. Alright, I was able to sidestep that. So pretty much like being able to sidestep, I had to scratch my nose. Being able to sidestep those attacks, it's random because I find myself not being able to sidestep if I get hit by the second attack of that 1-2-3 and then getting hit. And I always sidestep to the left. I'm not sure if you can sidestep into it, but it doesn't look like it. So I always sidestep to the left. Alright, it's me getting text messages. Now that I think about it, I've never actually tried parrying that sweep. Doesn't look like I can parry it. My goal again as a Lawbringer is to constantly drain their stamina. Her getting knocked out, that's just cake. That's icing on the cake. That's not my goal. It is if
Round 3.
it's never a goal. It's never a goal to knock somebody out. I would never suggest making your gameplay around knocking people out because then it limits your offensive potential. But my goal when shoving is to pretty much remove your stamina, and then shove is a good tool to keep your opponent drained. Now, I was able to sidestep that too. Into the fire combo. If you knock somebody into fire, always land. Yeah, I tried sidestepping that time. I don't know why it's so random. I have no idea. I wish I knew. And the wall helped me confirm that attack. No idea what's so random about being able to sidestep that. It's crazy. But I'm glad. Another thing I forgot to mention is if you block a Valkyrie, I'm not sure if this is true. I'm not blocking too much against this Valkyrie, but I believe that you can get like a free guard break if you happen to block their attack. I'm not sure. If that's the case, then Valkyries are they deserve respect because they gotta earn it. I mean, even though they get that blocking stuff. See, I tried sidestepping again. Nice. Shit, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, they deserve respect because even though it may seem like they have really crazy strong tools, if they do get free guard broken after I successfully block their attack, that's huge. That's really huge. I need them to run from me. I managed to even sidestep there. I still got tripped up. Oh man. That was a good comeback. Alright, so why'd I lose? Because one, my defense is garbage. Like, I'm getting hit by the first attack, which I'll say is probably a 50-50 chance that you'll be able to block it or not, being on average. But the other thing is also just blocking. Like, if I blocked a little bit better, it would probably go a different way. Because again, I gotta see if I can get a free guard break off of the off of blocking the right way. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully this person stays. Again, like I said earlier, I want to do sets. So pretty much 2 out of 3 essentially. But again, in duels, this is why duels isn't my favorite mode. Dueling is probably my 3rd favorite mode. The top 2 being Dominion and Elimination. But in a 1v1 dueling situation, just like fighting games, it's you have to really download your opponent within a certain round set. And me personally, I like taking a whole set to figure out my opponent's play style, and then play the best 2 out of 3 to see pretty much the end result of both people adapting. So it's hit and miss. All right, got another Viking. Hold on, I'm actually texting Damas, so we might actually make this whole video the guide. No. I'm gonna break it. I'm still breaking it in 2 parts. Yeah, that's probably the best way. But I'm gonna try to go through all the modes as much as I can. But Shigoki. Oh, not Shigoki. Jesus, why did I think Shigoki? Raiders are very simple but very strong. They have an instant over unblockable, so you need to parry. You need to parry. This guy isn't guard breaking so much, but we'll see what he does. He gassed himself out, so now my goal is to keep him gassed out by shoving. I was kind of hoping he'd feint that. Oh, I could have probably just ended it there, huh? He likes that unblockable. So that means I just got to parry it. But he'll probably mix it up. Ooh. He finally baited that, but he's got revenge. I don't like revenge. Ooh, I'm gassed. He should be using revenge. Gassed out. There we go. There's his revenge. I was about to say. Nah, don't run, man. Keep fighting. Use your revenge, man. Oh. Whew. People underestimate you when you're gassed out. Don't be afraid to throw those attacks.
Round 2.
Okay. That's my fault. I whiffed the attack. It is salt-inducing, because you know that's their strategy, but it's not unfair. It's not cheesy. I'll defend, not to the death, but I'll defend very strongly a raider and warlord's right to pretty much throw you. And I'll do it right back.
Round 4.
It's hard to text. I should probably wait till this set's over. That thing has some range to it.
No superstes. No superstes. No superstes.
That's a new trick that I'm doing right now, which is pretty much I feint into a top light attack. All right, Dom has hit me up. Let me see if I need to rush this along. So. And he left. God, man, I want sets with people. Sets are important. Like, when you're watching For Honor duels, or when you're doing For Honor duels, when you win or when you lose, the first set that you do, or the first match that you do, it counts. But it's really the one that happens after that, especially if your opponent beats you and it's 1-1. Because then the third one is a culmination of everything that you've gathered, all the information that you've gathered when dueling other people. It seems that Damas is going to be around, so I'm going to do a Dominion, because I've gone over very technical Lawbringer stuff, and I'll definitely go into even more technical Lawbringer stuff in part 1. But I want to, at the very least, do a Dominion match to tell you the role that I think the Lawbringer is. Hold on. Yeah, I wish I had the editing capability so I'd make you guys sit through me responding to text or messages that are they're not relevant to the stream, so it doesn't even help. But yeah, okay. So we're gonna do maybe 2 games of Dominion, depending on if they're good or not, and then I'll close out, and then I'll actually get to work on part 1, the meat. So think of this again as an auxiliary to the first guide. Did I even use that word right? I believe I did. Yeah, yeah. Like an addition to the main Lawbringer guide. Some direct tips that I'll be practicing what I'll be preaching in part 1, because part 1 is going to pretty much be taking place in a laboratory setting. I call it lab work. And that's where I'll pretty much be getting into the educational aspects of Lawbringer rather than the practice. So Dominion and I say Team HDeezus. Team HDeezus, my team, pretty much. That final round, the team that me and Damas are participate in, we call the rules in Dominion something equivalent to a chess board and chess pieces. There are probably different strategies that will come about in the future, depending on the members of my team which characters they pick. But for now, there are only 2 sets of pieces in my chessboard when it comes to Dominion. There are knight pieces and there are rook pieces. If you're familiar with chess, knights pretty much move at an L-shaped angle, and they are used for their mobility and being able to access different parts of the board in an agile state. The rook piece, they're the pieces that are in the ends of the chessboard. They are used defensively or to close the game towards the end. Their role is essentially just like in chess. They sit in place and they defend the area that they can go. As a Lawbringer, since this is a Lawbringer guide, I'm only going to specifically go over the Lawbringer's guide, and I play the Lawbringer as a rook. I'll demonstrate what that means. I'll be going over this in part 1, but I'll say it here. In my opinion, these are the best defeats for the Lawbringer in any game mode. You got Conqueror, which pretty much means I can cap faster in Dominion, and my boost lasts longer in Elimination. Versus, I'll go over the specifics in the part 1, but I'll just go over what I use right now. Righteous Deflection, it's pretty much just a better version of Juggernaut, which is in the same tier. But the only caveat is you have to be good at parrying. Second Wind, a good heal, and Igneous Bomber. Or Ember, instead of Catapult, because I was able to do it before in the alpha and even in the closed beta and even in the first week, but now I can't use it when there's a roof overhead, which makes a lot of sense. And Igneous Ember does a good amount of damage, and I like it a little better, to be honest. If I feel like, if I feel like it has a shorter cooldown. It's level 4, so I rarely use it anyways, but I like it. I like it a lot better. Another thing also in Dominion, matchmaking kind of does suck when you are main, when you only play one character, because you'll never see yourself in a room filled with people that are your level. There's just not enough people who are at that level. Not to say that like I'm so above everybody else, but you know, I'm always my playstyle in all fighting games is that I'm a character loyalist. So I prefer to play one character and stick with that one character. I take great pride in doing that. So I'm joining a game that's already in progress. We're blue team. All right. So as a rook, I like to play as, I guess, an advancing pawn rook, where I don't stay in the back, which would be point A. I like to go to my enemy's closest point, capture it, and then defend it. Why do I do that? Is because ideally I force more than one enemy to come to me, and I slow down. Oh God, they were waiting for me on that one. Yeah, watch out for that. But what was I saying? Because that was kind of badass. Shit. Oh, okay. So it forces more enemies to come to their closest point. So even if I were to die, for them to come and take A, they'd have to expand a longer distance. So you want to make sure that if you want to play like me, you want to make sure that you do that. So I like 2v1s. 2v1s are important, but I'm going after a point. Always try to fight on objectives. Never fight. I don't like fighting on point B as a rook. Leave that to a knight. Honestly, it's not a point that you want to take off it. So, oh, they both follow me. Whew, Igneous Bombered, but oh, I couldn't revenge. So, okay, so what does this do? Oh, we're in sudden. Oh, we're in sudden death. It was a already close game, but I had two guys on me, so statistically speaking, my team outnumbered them, but they still ended up losing. Happens. When you're in this state, you got to give up. Like, I wasn't able to hold that point, so now it's on me to pretty much fight for my team's survival here. This Orochi likes to sidestep, so I'll be able to get him if I can stop going for throws here. Oh, and I died just as we died. This was a terrible, terrible start to Dominion. Okay, but let me at least get the educational parts going, right? So education-wise, ideally in that scenario, I would have taken point C, which was the furthest point of the map, held it while we already had points A and B. What happened was I had the two guys at point C, but I didn't point C. So that was just whoa. Oh, I was in a team. That explains a lot. I was on a team filled with bots. Okay. I was wondering why my team wasn't capturing the other points when they were outnumbered, but still, it's my goal. I take a risk. You always take a risk when you go for the largest point, because if you don't capture the point, then you probably should have maintained another point, which is the general strategy that I maintain when I play with a pre-made, is that the goal is to cap 2 points and hold 2 points. The problem with this strategy is it's very specific on which 2 points you need to capture. You don't want to capture and hold the point that is held by NPCs. You want to take the NPC contested point, but then while the enemy is spending their assets to go to that point, you want to take that time to take the uncontested point that no NPCs go to. In most maps, it's point A and point C. But in one map called the Shard, it's points B and point A, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. If for some reason you lose point C or you can't cap point C, and your point A, the point that's closest to your base, is captured by the enemy, it is your priority to take that first. You go to point C only on the assumption that your team is either going to get point A or that your team already has point A. The reason why I start at point C when the game starts is because people go everywhere. And hopefully, if your team is somewhat competent, they'll see that someone's already going in that direction. They'll notice that no one's going in the other direction, and then they'll take that point. I will be the guy who will go to point A if I see that my entire team is going to point C. And then I hope that essentially that when my team ends up dying, that they'll cycle to point A and then I can push to point C. That's the one downside of playing with random people, is that you can't control your flow as a rook. Keep in mind, there'll be 2 rooks, there'll be 2 knights. The 2 rooks will pretty much declare a role that they'll go to, or a point that they'll go to, and they'll hold that point. And then the knights will essentially back up the rooks as they've captured or capturing the point, and then keep putting pressure on point B back and forth. This is a main reason why I've been slacking on For Honor, because like I was on For Honor's side with the peer-to-peer stuff. There were network connections here and there. But now it's gotten to a point to where it's pretty bad, and I can't defend them anymore too much. I don't want to blame it on peer-to-peer communication. I want to say it's matchmaking. As you can see, player skill strict. Most of the time, I'll never get matched up in a room with that. It'll always have to loosen up the player skill. Also, a thing that I don't like how they do is that if you notice the region, it says all region, that it would rather me have be in a room with players that are my skill level, but potentially be in another distant region. So that means that there's a better chance of me disconnecting within a game than just matching me with open matchmaking. In my opinion, gear is important in this game, but you can max out your gear as early as whenever you want, really. But realistically speaking, around Prestige 4. So, according to this game, I'm way too high a level to be matched with somebody Prestige 4 on strict player skill. But if they just made it open, I can be going against people who are Prestige 4 within my region, or people who are close to my region. It removes the connectivity issue that may be here, and then there'll be less DCs. I don't know what the issue is with the servers. I couldn't tell you. Yeah. Once I unlock gold, I'll probably make my Lawbringer's material for blue team gold. The black doesn't really do too much for my armor, and the gold probably does. But I don't like the gold for for the orange. Anyway, all right, let's try to get a full game of Dominion going, and we'll see how this goes. Let me see if there are any miscellaneous tips I can give about Lawbringer. We're playing with bots too. All right. No. Again, I have notes here. You know, I've got a rubric of sorts to go over every detail that I possibly can in part 1. So if you haven't seen part 1 or know that there's a part 1, there is a part 1. So be on the lookout for that. Chances are when you see this, part 1 will already be up. Like, I'm not going to front here and say like, oh man, like people come to my YouTube page as soon as I upload. So 99%, if you're already seeing this, then part 1's already out. And that's where I go into depth in a lab setting and go over all the goodies. So the tips that I give here are pretty much just Dominion specific. All right, so the furthest point here is point C. It's my job as a rook to go there. I already see someone's going for point A. Most of the time, your team will go for the closest point, so that's fine. This is also my favorite map to play in Dominion. Out of my way, Orochi. Thank you. Alright. Conqueror's a really good feat to have as a rook, because it obviously allows you to capture points faster. But it's also good for knights. They can cap the point and then leave, and then go on and do something else. So they're spending less time here. Why it's good for the rook is because there are people who are going to come back to this point, and you really need to capture the point as fast as you can. Good teamwork. All right. So, another tip. I'll probably say it. Nah, I probably won't. Here in Dominion, you get more points as you stand within the base. Alright, so if I were to leave, you see we're at point C, above the point C, next to the numbers, it says +2. It should, too small for me at this distance, but it should say +2. If I were to step away from this point, it'll say +1, which means your points per second.
You lost Zone A. No superstes.
I'm taking too much hits, yeah. I tried to backstep, but I couldn't. I got thrown off my center a little bit there. That's all me. Alright, so we still have 2 points, so that's good. Dying as a Lawbringer is not so bad. Dying as a rook isn't so bad. And dying as a rook at that far point is great, because now the enemy, if they want to take point A, they got to go across the map, which essentially secures A. And they're fighting for B. So while they fight for B, you can either be sneaky about it, which right now, until people get better at the game, it is more sneaky, because no one typically defends their points. But you'll always go to C, and then you'll draw more people to C, and then your other players will take B. No text. I'm going to execute so they don't get res. If someone were to come over here and 2v1 me, they may revive them. So you don't want that. All right. So now we have 2 points. We maintain 2 points. Hopefully teammates just come here to heal. They see that someone's defending and they move on, or they just take 2 and keep them at A, and 2 and keep them at B. That's the fastest way to win, but no one likes to play it that way. Kind of the Call of Duty mindset. He's probably gonna do that quick zone attack. All right, 2v1, perfect. Alright, I got a team. I'm gonna try to hold on to my revenge as much as I can.
You captured Zone A.
We have the ultimate anti-revenge tool, pretty much, which is our unblockable throw. Dude, this dude keeps hitting me in my back. Stop it, dude. Friendly fire, friendly fire. They're fighting off point, but that's fine. Hopefully they can kill him quick. Alright, now I have Righteous Deflection up. So now my goal is to pretty much parry as often as I can. As a rook, you want to push people away from your point. Mainly so you can heal, but also because you want the 2 points while you're here. And generate points while the enemy team is just sitting there. So, this is a pretty good defensive run. I'm able to hold off this point, which will pretty much garner the attention of more and more people. Which means that points A will be secured, and hopefully somebody will be cheeky enough to push the NPCs to take point B. But as you see, 2 people. In order to be a rook, you gotta be comfortable 2v1ing. Don't fear 2v1s, especially when you got backup. And my team backed me up. We just have to survive.
You lost Zone A.
Igneous Bomber. Always good. Good job, team. There's something I was gonna say. Oh, some Lawbringer multiple, 2v1 tips. I'll definitely go over the guide, but it'll be a reminder here. When you're in revenge mode, the Lawbringer, in my opinion, is probably one of the best people to handle that because we have our shove. And if you guys notice, when I shove somebody during revenge mode, they get knocked down. Very good, which means that it's either a free heavy attack or that's one less person that's attacking you, which means you can parry them with Righteous Deflection better, or you can just take a break or use your healing ability. So let's see what time it is. All right, so that's where I'm gonna end this part 2. Part 1 is about to be recorded right now. So any closing parts? Because again, this is an addendum. I like auxiliary better, but pretty much this is just more specifics towards dueling and your mindset when you play Dominion. Always be comfortable 2v1ing. I'm not going to say that if you don't enjoy 2v1s, don't play Lawbringer, but you will enjoy Lawbringer so much more if you do embrace 2v1s. So, if you haven't watched part 1, go ahead and check that out if you wanted more specific details on what to do as a Lawbringer in general and how to build them and all that good stuff. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned and take it easy, guys.